Hey everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Weight Loss Psychology, where we talk about the things that might keep you from reaching your health goals. Because it's not just the physical, it's absolutely the mental and emotional that will help you, well, it'll either make you or break you. If you've ever tried to reach a goal, you know how difficult it can be. The things that pop up, the things you tell yourself, the self-talk that we have, there's a lot that plays a role in this. So we're going to talk a little bit about today about eating your feelings, because of course that is pretty normal. I get it. We like the comfort food, we get stressed. The first thing I think of is chocolate. I don't know about you, but of course chocolate's kind of my gig. So we want to talk about why that happens and what we can do different, because of course whenever you have an issue, everything is fixable. You just have to come up with a plan or a strategy that works for you. So hopefully you all like my new studio. I'm working on it, still working on lighting if you can't tell, but we're getting there. We're getting some fun stuff up there, but it's coming. So let's talk a little bit about eating feelings. I do tell my clients, I am not immune. I do eat my feelings, especially right now where things are a little bit stressful in my life, trying to figure some things out. It's really tough. I have some days where I'm just like, oh, screw it. I'm just gonna eat the chocolate. But that's not always, it doesn't work, of course. Now, okay, let me just back up really quick and say, sometimes, when I have clients that kind of fall off the wagon, the first thing I ask them is, was it worth it? Because sometimes it is. Sometimes there's, a time and place for everything. You might need to do that. But if you constantly eat your feelings, you constantly eat because of stress, you need that comfort food, that sugar rush, whatever it is, that's really you're gonna struggle to hit your goals. So part of that is learning a different option, or different, what I would say, learning new coping skills. That's one of the main things that I've been able to do over the years. So for those of you that may not know, I actually at one point in my life was 210 pounds, and I'm not even 5'3". I'm a shorty. I call myself fun size. That's a lot. I was 46% body fat. So I get it from both ends of the health spectrum. It was very difficult, dealing with stress. It's just something I learned, from my mother. When she would get stressed, she would eat, and she would hide things around the house and in her purse. And that's part of the problem. So I've learned, number one, I've got a couple of tips for you, but the biggest one is to, number one, be able to put your finger on the trigger. What is it that's causing you to reach for the bag of Twinkies or whatever it is that's your vice? And it might not even be sweets. A lot of people tell me I don't have any issues with sweets. I don't have a sweet tooth. What they go for is something a little more salty. Chips, I get, to an extent, or bread. You guys, bread is sugar, just so you know. It is considered sugar. If you're unsure about that, look at the ingredient list. But also how it tastes when you put the bread in your mouth and you take a bite, and those enzymes start to react with it. You actually taste sweet. So that can also be a problem. But it really does lead us to overeat, because again, we want that dopamine hit. We want to feel better. Whatever's going on in our life, we want to feel better, and that is that's what we use for that. So let's talk about a couple of things. Again, first of all, you got to figure out what the triggers are, and you have to have a plan in place. Now I'm going to tell you what mine is. I'm going to tell you some suggestions I give to others, but yours is going to have to be very significant for you. It's going to have to work for you. But the number one tip that I'm going to give you is don't keep garbage in the house. Don't bring it home. You've heard that don't do the grocery shopping when you're hungry, because you'll bring home stuff that isn't necessarily healthy. So don't bring it home, because that trust me, I have dug through closets and cupboards looking for chocolate when I'm stressed out. So don't bring it home, because if you have to get up and go somewhere to get it, you're less likely to binge or to eat that, right? So the other one is to replace a bad habit with a good habit. It's really difficult to just say, I'm just not going to eat, junk food or sugar or comfort foods when I stress out. You can't say I'm going to not do it anymore. You have to replace that with another option, because your body, your psychology, your subconscious does not like loss. It doesn't like to get rid of something or give it away or stop. You're going to have to replace it with something else. You're going to have to replace a bad habit with a good habit. So keep that in mind. So coping skills. So I'm going to tell you what works for me, and then come up with a couple of other options. And if you have a great idea, definitely leave a comment below, because honestly, sometimes people come up with great ideas I would never have thought of. And that's what we are. We want to be a community. We want to help each other to reach our goals. What I do is I go to the gym. I know that sounds ridiculous. And you're like, yeah, Melissa, it's because well, I've only been doing the gym for 12 years, so granted, and I'm 47, almost 48 years old, so it hasn't been a good portion of my life that I've done that, but I have learned that when I'm having a really frustrating day, that's what I do. I go to the gym, I lift heavy things, I usually turn on really loud, angry music, and look probably really angry at the time, but I need to get that aggression out and that frustration out. Sometimes I will clean my house. really aggressively, that's probably when it gets the best cleaning, because I'm so angry. I just put headphones in and I just go to town. Again, I need to take out those feelings in a way that's a little more purposeful, but also helpful to what my goals are at the time, right? But other options might be for you, go for a walk. If you're really, angry at something or frustrated or, even sad, going for a walk or even talking with a friend, calling a friend or a family member that really understands you and give you some good feedback and maybe kind of gives you some motivation to keep going. Those are great options. Especially call somebody who's been in your shoes. I tell my people, text me anytime. If you are struggling, first of all, you got to text me because I don't know. But secondly, I've been there. I've been through all the emotions that they're going through. I know how it feels. And sometimes it's nice to just know you have somebody else that's on the same page as you or that understands how you feel. So keep that in mind. But realize that if you struggle every time, again, I used to eat junk food when I would get stressed or bored. Still sometimes have that issue, but not quite as much because I do have different coping skills, but I'm also very aware of what causes me to do that. And really work to, again, put strategies in place so that doesn't happen. So if you have a great idea, like you said, please let us know. There is so much more to being healthy than just the physical, the exercise, and the eating right. We have to get our head right. It's amazing to me how many people come to say, like, help me lose the weight because I need to lose the weight so I can get my head in the right place. I'm like, oh, that is not how this works. You're not going to lose the weight first. You have to fix your head first in order for your body to respond in a healthy way. So keep that in mind, because whatever got you to where you're at, where you're struggling and unhappy, you're gonna have to fix that first in order to get to that healthy spot in your life. Because again, it's gonna be both healthy physically and mentally and emotionally. So have an incredible evening, you guys. Hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get all the new ones that are coming up every week. Some fun new stuff coming up in the very, very near future. If you're watching this on Facebook, make sure you drop a like and also leave a comment. I love to hear from you. I love to hear what you struggle with, any questions that you have. I do respond. You can also message me directly at Facebook Live. Definitely stay tuned for some amazing, incredible things coming up in the very, very near future. So have a great night, guys. And that's a wrap.